What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of the Squawk podcast, your favorite Pokemon podcaster's favorite Pokemon podcast. On today's episode, we are weeks into Journey Together. There is a regional in Australia that I guess we can talk about briefly, but who cares? The format's dead. Rest in peace to all your favorite V-Star Pokemon. And George went to Costco today. As my name is Kyle Cooper Rios, and I'm joined by the Pony Bottle Champ himself. This shirt is absolutely ridiculous. It's George Fabre. George, how you doing, buddy?
I actually got this shirt for Christmas.
That's
One of my friends got it for me. Big hot dog guy, big on the dogs, and the shirt says, "I got that dog in me." And it's $1.50 Costco sign for a hot dog.
I can safely say you are a big hot dog guy, as someone that knows you personally. You love a hot dog.
I didn't actually go to Costco and get a hot dog, but I wish I did because it would have been a lot cheaper if I did.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. What's up, man? How are you? How was your day? I ate hot dogs.
I'm doing great. I did not eat any hot dogs today, unfortunately. Typical Tuesday. Can't really complain. It's April Fool's Day when we're recording this. And I hate April Fool's Day. I am so incredibly gullible that I'll believe almost anything if I read it in a quick enough fashion. I fell for maybe one or two of them today, and I was just like, damn it, why does this keep happening every year? So
yeah, I guess this is a bad time to tell you that this will be my last episode.
I was gonna make that same joke. April Fool's, pal. Whatever. Actually, one of my friends, God bless his soul, he used to do the same prank every year on April Fool's Day, and everyone would always fall for it. He'd make a really long-winded Facebook status about how he's leaving the state of New Jersey and he's moving and he's driving to Hawaii to start a new job, and everyone always missed the part where he says he's driving to Hawaii. So you just see a bunch of sad congratulatory posts. It was oh man, I'm gonna miss you, and it's yeah, April Fools. Yeah. So
you said God rest his soul. Is he?
No, he's no. Sorry, I brain rotted for. He doesn't have Facebook anymore. That's what.
Okay, so. That's April Fools. He's still alive. That's kind of fucking.
I do that all the. I do that all the time. That's that's a little bit of my work life bleeding into my personal life. It's a little embarrassing.
I saw once a meme. It was someone that wasn't really speak English. They're like, "All right, I'm going to bed." They're like, "All right, sweet," and then they're like, "Yeah, good night, sleep tight." They're like, "Rest in peace." They're please never say that again.
Yeah,
don't tell that to anybody else.
I do that at my job. My boss and I will talk about people that used to work with us, and then we'll also mention their name, and they'll say "God rest their soul," and then we'll put in context they're not dead; they just don't work here anymore. So that's where that comes from. It's just more of my brain rotting out of my skull.
You got to be careful what audience you're saying that around.
April Fools. No one's dead. It's April fine. Nothing counts today. How you doing, Georgie?
You know what? I love Pokemon.
you don't say. It's so stupid.
My day was all right, man. I just, worked. Typical Tuesday. I wish I had more to divulge. It was a boring day.
Yeah, we're working. We're a week away from the Atlanta regionals. We'll talk more about that as we get there. But we are a week into our new format. The V-Stars are dead. The Sword and Shield era is dead. Throw your F-Block cards away.
Throw
you
your V-Star markers away. Just repurpose them. Maybe
I felt really sad unsleeving my V-Star marker the other day. It actually brought a tear to my eye.
Yeah, you'll get over it.
I'm already over it. I already forgot where it is. But no, I'm I'm sad to see the V-Stars go. We've been mourning their loss for the last couple of episodes, but now we're here. We're in the future. We now have physical cards to play with. George, have you opened any product of Journey Together?
No. Well, yeah, I bought one ETB just because everybody was buying boxes around me, and I just got FOMO, and I was like, all right, I'll get one. And then I got absolutely nothing out of it. Let me see. What did I get?
Here we go. Show and tell. It's my favorite part of the show.
What did I get? I got Alchemy, which is my second one. Belly Bolt, which is my second one. I got a Darmanitan, which I do need actually. A Noibat full art, which I guess is kind of sick.
I also got that card. That's sick.
A regular Belly Bolt. I have 2 full arts though, and yeah, the rest is shit. Yeah, I got nothing. So I mean, I did get the Pokemon Center ETB that I haven't opened. I don't think I'm going to. All I really need actually left from this set right now, from what I want to play, it seems like one of the Liz Clefairy, which someone's going to let me purchase that from them. And I need one more End Zoroark, which I will somehow obtain before our big testing party at Casa de Brad Brown.
Yeah, we're doing our quarterly Squawk testing session where we'll usually do it at someone's house. Last time we did it at my place. It was fun. Got about 10 people here, crammed into my 3-bedroom apartment. It was a good time. And then Brad was like, "Hey, I have a house. Do you want to just do it at my place?" And we're like, "You know what? It's a good idea. I'm no doctor, but that sounds like a good idea."
Hold on. The ATL Hose group chat that you're unfortunately not in because you're not cool and you're not going.
Why you got to do that to me? Why you got to hit me right here where it hurts?
Well, because you're a loser. And yes. they are requesting, I wonder how you feel about this. They're requesting the show to be broadcasted in front of a live audience.
Oh my god! I don't know if I'm going to. I already started recording. I do not know if I'm going to be able to do that right now.
I can do it.
How are we going to get everyone into Discord and record at the same time?
No,
we're in a client recording.
They're just going to listen.
Oh, they're going to be the peanut gallery. Yeah. Okay. I mean, they're not. I mean, no one's going to hear their conversation, so I mean, it's fine. So.
Yeah. So, I am going to go ahead and cue that up right now.
So, you're just going to bring them. All right, should I also get in Discord then?
No, you don't have to get on Discord. I don't want to hear you twice. So go ahead.
All right, cool.
Move on to the show. So we are streaming live in the Squawk and Seas Discord, which one day may be access to the masses. Maybe we should start doing live shows. I don't know. We have to get more creative though. We have to figure something out.
Yeah, I think that's going to be one of in our Q2 meetings. Shout out to everyone that has been supporting the content on YouTube though. Been getting some decent traffic over there. We got some stuff planned as we move forward. Do you want to see what I got for my booster box?
Yeah.
So I opened a booster box of Journey Together. Shout out to the GOAT Jason for securing me some product. If I knew you needed a Zoroark, I would have held on to the one that I had instead of trading it away. But in typical George fashion, you swore off that deck immediately, and I'm like, okay, George isn't going to want to play this, and you're like, I kind of like Zoroark.
Dude, was I not playing it pretty sick last night?
It was pretty sick. You were pretty sick with it.
I'm like, it's like my kind of deck. You know,
you're a chess man. You like a thinking man's deck.
It's basically just like Guardy.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
So,
and I love
in spirit.
Yeah, and Guardy is like kind of my favorite right now going into ATL. If you were going to ATL, what do you think you would be locking in on?
I'll get there in a second, but first, before I forget, I have some pretty cards to show you. So I got a SIR Maractus, which I thought I didn't pull. I Mandela affected myself into thinking that I didn't pull this.
I was going to say, didn't someone just ask for that the other day?
Roger did, and I thought I didn't pull it.
So you're going to get paid.
What's up?
So you're going to get paid.
It's like $5. So
you're going to get paid.
So I'm going to get paid. I also got the SIR Noibat. Adorable. I unironically love Noibat. Look how cute he is. He's so cute. I got the SIR Lycanroc, which is pretty sick. This card is gorgeous. And my best pull was the SAR Iono. So pretty stoked about that. That will be that's going to get prisoner exchange with Mr. Hurl Mannheim because he is trading me back the SAR Salamence, because he wants to play this card, and I have no use for it. So,
okay.
So that's the best. I got like a bunch of like bulk EXs. I've got like 3 Alchremies. I kind of hate this guy. But
yeah, what do we do with those?
We eat it. I don't know, but I got a full art Volcanion, which is pretty cool. I like the Christmas colors in the background. That guy's kind of sick. Full art Dunsparce. I think it's good. Yeah, in the decks that I've seen it using, I think it's very useful. Full art to
Dunsparce,
Dunsparce though. Look
yeah,
at this guy.
bad card, bad card,
Shut up. He's right here. Have
bad
some
card,
respect, please.
bad card.
No, it's terrible. Yeah, that's what I got. I got some pretty decent playables out of my stuff too, so I'm pretty stoked about that. If I were going to ATL, I would probably, and it's one of the two decks I'm bringing this weekend. I would play Goldango.
Goldangus.
It's a deck that is near and dear to my heart. It's a deck that I flirted with playing several times, but I usually bail at the last second to play Lugia. But Lugia is no longer with us. God rest his soul. Actually dead. So I can't play that anymore. If I were to play a deck going to Atlanta, it would probably be Goldango. However, there's a deck that I've been playing that has been so much fun, and it's probably pretty bad, but I enjoy the heck out of it, and that is this Zacian spread deck that's been going around. It is so bad. I think I just like metal Pokemon. I think I found my type, but
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. I actually think the deck isn't that bad.
it's fine. It's very passable.
How are you playing it? That's what I'm curious.
So I'm not playing it with the Monkey Dory package. Granted, I haven't experimented much with it. That's probably the better way to play the deck. But
you know how I feel about Monkey Dory.
You love that guy.
Love it. So
He's a cool guy. He's just a chill guy. But I've been playing it with this. I've been playing this Iron Valiant concoction of this deck, where you spread damage with Tachyon bits. You play, heavy switching cards. You play Latias for free retreat. You play Surfer, so you can switch yourself in and out of the active. So you spread a lot of damage around, and then you play all the damage multipliers on your Zacian. So it's really good into the small setting up stuff. So that's why I think it's in a pretty well-positioned spot right now, not a bench bearers kind of thing. You can easily move around enough damage, and sometimes your opponent doesn't even get to play the game. You can ping enough damage on a bench thing. You 30k, you snipe 30 to knock that out. You hit the active for anywhere from, if you have the Snorlax plus the band plus the post wick, you're doing 120. So you hit good numbers. You struggle into like the bigger basic decks, but I think you still have some decent answers into that, because Cramorant's a good single prize attacker with all the damage modifiers. You hit for 210, not an irrelevant number. The Snorlax, if you get some energies committed to it early and you have all the modifiers down, you hit for 230, which is relevant numbers. So it's not bad. I like it a lot.
I love playing against it online.
Deck.
I've been playing, everybody's playing it online. I've been playing it into Guardy because they take a knockout and then they're like all happy and giddy. And then I go counter catcher, Iono, their Snorlax, Screamtail, and then they just quit every single time.
That's pretty bad. Now, granted, I played a Latias, so getting Snorlax out of the active is not that hard. But I get it. It's fun. It's fun. It's not great. But I really like Goldango. I like being able to draw cards. I like being able to knock out most things. Your problems are going to come into things that you can't one-hit knock out, or things that you can't hit at all, which is Cornerstone Mask Ogerpon and Pikachu, which is going to be very popular going into the weekend. So I've been spending the last couple of weeks trying to figure out the best way to deal with that, because all your wall breaking options aren't necessarily great. Your best one is Scizor, most likely, a really scary single prize attacker, but your opponent can regulate how much damage that does. The same thing with the Dunsparce EX. Your opponent can regulate how much damage that does. I'm still trying to find some answers into what I think is the best way to do it, but it's a deck I'm going to probably be playing for the foreseeable future. So I like it. I think it's a good deck right now.
Yeah. Wonder if playing one Hopsation in there wouldn't be bad.
I don't think it's a terrible idea. The problem is it's not as splashable in Goldango as it is in like a deck like Arcaludon, where you can utilize like the second attack of that deck. Because you're only ever hitting for 30 if you use it in Goldango. It doesn't really work. So
I have an idea that I'll tell you offline, because I don't want to leak anything. But
yeah,
I just thought of something.
We'll cook. But yeah, that's what I am leaning towards. I'm upset that I can't go to Atlanta. It's eating away at me, but I'll hold down the fort
You had a
this
second
weekend.
chance too.
I had several chances, but I can't go. I could not get off. George likes to make fun of me because it seems like I'm always working on a weekend where everyone wants to go to a cup, which is pretty true. But alas, I I
Well,
can't do anything about that,
I
unfortunately. So
bailed on a cup this weekend. It was just far too nice outside this weekend.
yeah, we missed the Highlander Cup this weekend. That was won by local grinder Vinny with Maridon. And I just want to go on a record and say that I'm a bad friend. I gave Andrew my Lugia deck that was missing 2 cards in it, and I did not realize that. So I just want to go on a record and say that I'm a bad friend. And I feel bad about it. So
that's the second time he's played a deck to a tournament with less than 60 cards.
now, in my defense, if someone hands me a gun, I'm gonna count how many bullets are in it. You know what I'm saying? So I thought I put all the cards back in my Lugia deck. And Andrew had plenty of time to check if there was 60 cards in there.
Yeah, when did you give it to him?
I gave it to him on Friday when we went to League. He asked for it then. So he had plenty of time just to count his cards. Yeah. But I digress. It's my fault. I should have checked. So I just want to go on let the record show that I apologize and I'm a bad friend. So I will buy you a drink to make up for it at some point. But yeah, I did not go to the cup either. I had to work. So, and it was like you said, it was really nice outside. Like we hit like the 70s at some point. Like I got my car, it said 80 on the thermometer. Like the nice weather's back, man. The sun's setting a little bit later. Like seasonal depression's been conquered. Now I just have regular depression. It's great.
Yeah, and it's April.
Yeah, we're here. We've gotten through the Ides of March, and April means we're a month away from my birthday, which is pretty sick. So
you're gonna be really old now.
Yeah, I'm gonna be 25. I can legally rent a car now. It's really cool stuff. I'm very excited. Fun. I'm going to a baseball game on my birthday, so I'm very excited. So
it's fun. Fun.
Yeah, baseball season's back. Everything's going great right now.
Yeah, you and your torpedo bats.
Look, man, I don't make the rules. I'm just here for the tiramisu and a cup. I think we'd be failed. I think we should talk about the last regional in F block that happened down in Australia this weekend. And I always feel so bad for the Australian regionals because they're on the opposite side of the country and they don't stream them. So like it feels like nobody just knows that these happen. But it was won by Mr. Gabe Smart, content creator on YouTube and on the grind this season. So he locks up his World's Invite with Maridon and he won it over finals against one of my favorite players right now, Mr. Tim Franklin himself, one of the best mustaches in the game. And I'm so mad at this deck. The deck he played caught on so late into the format because it looks so cool. He made it to finals with a Roaring Moon EX deck with Greninja and Power Glass, which is really cool. I'm not sure if you saw the technology or not.
Yeah, didn't someone play it to a challenge?
Someone did, I think, around here recently, yeah. It's pretty sick. I like it a lot.
Yeah, I think that Roaring Moon is interesting. I think Roaring Moon, even in this format, is interesting. I saw something with like a poison box with like the baby Petrons and like Petron EX. I don't really think... I think like Roaring Moon isn't going away. It's just such a valid attacker. And I think when we saw it the other day, I made a comment like, especially with this new format coming up, and I know we're talking about the old format, but frenzy gouging is really good. And I don't see a timeline where it's not good. Being able to knock out a Pokemon without doing damage is actually really good right now. So
yeah, I agree. I think going into a format where everyone's really talking about these walling Pokemon being very good. Yes, there he is. He's handsome, man.
I don't know why. I've been shuffling these lately. They're just my shuffle cards lately.
Every day you're shuffling?
Yeah.
God, my brain. Yeah, I think Roaring Moon is well positioned, and especially going into a meta, like we said, where everybody's trying to figure out, how do you get around walls? I commentated an online tournament this weekend where every time a deck list came on the stream, me and my co-caster were like, "Why is this card in here?" And then the answer was because of Cortisone Mask Ogremon. That card is just way too good in a vacuum to ignore. So I think, like you said, Roaring Moon being able to, go around that by just chomping on it. And granted, it also can attack it normally too because it doesn't have an ability. So, but I think it would go around things like the Farigiraf or being able to knock out these big Pokemon like Dragapult. That are annoying and hard to go through. I do agree it's well positioned. I think if there's anything that this second place list from Tim shows is that Radiant Greninja will go down as one of the best cards ever made because you can throw that guy at anything and it's really, really good.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, that's why right now also, Water Pond and Darmanitan are so good.
Yeah.
Same kind of attacks. But Radiant Greninja being able to do 90-90 anywhere is busted.
It's sick. And you play this with the Power Glass, so you can get those energies back. Like, you can attack with Greninja twice in some scenarios, which is nuts. This is really, really cool stuff. And, Tim's one of Australia's best players. Former Super Smash, still not as active, but a former top-level Super Smash Brothers player in Australia also. So that's my guy. I'm a big Tim Danklin fan. And just kind of looking at the rest of this, Gardevoir and Lugia, Dragapult were also very popular in Brisbane. There is a Ceruledge in top 8, which is pretty cool. It's played as Zamazenta V-Star, which is pretty gas. It has the V-Star power where all of your Pokemon take 100 less damage on the next turn. So you can just tank a hit from virtually anything, which is pretty cool. So rest in peace, that guy. Ceruledge, another one of those cards that might get a little bit better as things move forward. I haven't seen a lot of chatter about it, going into this weekend, but something to consider. But yeah, shout out to Gabe winning down in Australia.
And shout out to the I'm not going to say this correctly. Corivicus EX. Cofagrigus.
There you go.
Top 4 in Guardy. What are we doing?
That is some jank right there.
I don't even know what this card does. Put 5 damage counters on your opponent's bench Pokemon any way you like. So it's like a shitty Dragapult attack Phantom Dive. And then if this Pokemon's knocked out by damage from an attack from your opponent's Pokemon, search your deck for a card, put it in your hand, and shuffle your deck.
I love end of format tournaments, especially like end of format rotation tournaments, because people are just throwing whatever they want to the wall, and you can just kind of get away with it. I'm into it. I think it's cool. Yeah, but that's it. That's it for Brisbane. So now we're done. That's it in regards to what we have. In the F block rotation right now, and week away from Atlanta. So George, like we were talking about, you've ridden like in Gardevoir. You're playing a little bit of Ends Zora. Is there anything else that's kind of caught you by surprise? I know we've had a couple of online tournaments popping in now. Is there anything else that might be on your radar of something that you might think people aren't talking about enough?
Tropicos Buffalon is interesting.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I think Goldango is really good. Everybody's saying Terrabox, BDIF. I feel like it is, but I also think Goldango is really, really good. Charizard, surprisingly, isn't bad. Has been performing really well. I think it's because you're playing the Water Pond in it, too. Anything playing Water Pond right now is really good. But I was looking today at some of the completed online tournaments. The latest one, David Marchant, whoever that is, won an 81-person tournament with Gardevoir. This is playing not Secret Box, not Blender, but is actually playing. What is it playing? Oh, Unfair Stamp, which I thought was really interesting. So Guardy, like, to me, like I think it's the biggest surprise. Everybody's like, Guardy's dead, Guardy's dead, refinement, you can't refinement, that can't function. How are you getting cards in the discard? People are playing with Blender, and now more and more you're seeing a lot of lists pop up not playing Blender. And the deck still works because all the basic Pokemon that are one prizers in the deck are all really good.
Yeah, I think you're a little bit more like one dimensional now because you lose so much with refinement. Um, But like you said, you still have all of your really good attackers. Gardevoir itself is an efficient attacker. We've seen these builds of Guardy for the last couple of weeks now where you play Heavy Monkey Dory, you move all this damage into play, you can fix your own math with Gardevoir. So now Miracle Force goes from being like a 190, punchy attack. It becomes a little bit more scary, once you're able to move 40, 60 damage elsewhere, and kind of and fix your own
Well, the thing is, it's
math
so
problem.
bulky, you know.
Yeah.
So like you can swing and you could put three damage, three energy on there, do 250 effectively with double monkey dory. It's a tongue twister, and then do 250, and then leave it in the active and say, "Go ahead, make my day. I'm just going to move all this damage off of you, and then I'm going to retreat into like a scream tail and win the game." Like it's kind of, I don't know, it's kind of really hard
It's
to deal
scary.
with.
310 is a big number to hit. Only certain decks are really good at being able to hit that. Um, and I think Gardevoir trades well into those decks anyway. Like Raging Bolt and Goldengo, I think still have problems where they don't have great options to offset their prize racing. If we're going to talk, the other online tournament I'd like to mention is the Regional of Doom that happened over the weekend. That was the tournament that I commentated. So it was, again, a lot of really good players in here. Jake Gearhart was in here. Celio's Network, Luke Morsa, All Out Blitzel with a build on Pidgeot control, which is really cool. It plays the Knackley that retreat locks you. It does play Lily's Clefairy, so you do have it's a bit more of an attacking build of control, which is really cool. So this might be where we see this card deck go now. It was won by Dragapult Dusknoir, which I think a lot of people are anticipating to be very popular. Um, but the second place list here is what is really cool. The second place list was a Frostlass Monkey Dory deck, which has been kind of a meme deck for a while, but it plays heavy Badoo. You play stuff like Counter Gain and you play Counter Gain, you play Devolution, you play Counter Catcher to stick these heavy things in the active. You play Calamitous Snowy Mountain to put damage on your opponent's board, which is really cool. It's just a funny deck. I think this is it's probably a meme, but I think it's very creative and fun to look at. So
Was it best of three or best of one?
in cut, I believe it was best of three. I think everything was best of three actually. So
Hmm. I feel like it's pretty easy to knock out Badoos though under item lock. I feel like that's not that hard.
I guess I didn't get to watch a lot of the games of this weekend, but um, I don't know. I think maybe the Badoo is just kind of there. You play three of them, so I mean, I think the point of them being easy to knock out is fine, since you're just going to be able to chain them together, and eventually your opponent's going to have to play some item cards. They're not going to have a lot of options, and then you just move all this damage around. You devo your opponent's board, and then you take 4 prize cards in one turn or something like that. So
Yeah. I mean, Dragapult's obviously pretty prevalent. Terra Box. Was there anything else that stood out to you that I didn't name?
We did mention the Terapagos Buffalant deck. I think we can talk about that again a little bit more detail because it's piloted by Celio's Network to a top 4 finish. I think this is going to be a sleeper archetype for a lot of people. I think people forget that Terapagos was a very, very strong deck archetype for a short period of time. Granted, that was with the Dusknoir package. That is now no longer here. But instead, you make yourself really hard to knock out with the addition of the Bouffalants, which mitigate the damage that you take. There's also a Cornerstone Mask Ogrepon, making it hard for your opponents to hit through to hit your stuff. It'll lose Clefairy in here, to help make your Dragapult matchup, better for you. So I think this deck is really cool. I think anything, the knockdown engine is going to see a lot of obvious play. We all know how good that engine is. So this is just another way to utilize it. with some pretty decent attackers. So I like this deck a lot.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I think that I tried to build something like this, but I wanted to put Badu in it because to me, I think there's like four really good cards in this format, and I think it's the Noctowls, Monkey Dory, um, Lily's Clefairy, and Badu. I think those are like four probably the best cards in format. Um, interesting aspect from Celio Network here with the scoop up Cyclone in this deck. I didn't really
Yeah,
get
I
that.
dig it. You're making yourself essentially what is it? I think you take 60 less damage with the buffaloes in play. I think.
Yeah, so you're effectively with Bravery Charm looking at 340 HP.
Yeah. So I think the concept there is you tank a hit, you move some damage off, you pick yourself up, or you pick up your liabilities end game. Um, yeah, I just think being able to erase a turn of damage has always historically been very good. So I'm into that. I would be remiss if I did not mention the top four Goldango deck, which does play my goat, Big Worm EX. Um, there's a couple of interesting texts in here that I am a fan of. It's still playing the single prize Goldango, which again is good into like the small, is into the smaller wall stuff like Mimikyu if people are playing that. But sometimes, having to take a knockout with Goldango into like a Fan Rotom or a Badu feels really bad because then you open up the door for your opponent to take a two prize knockout. So using that as your initial attacker allows you to keep a 2-2 pace going. I also really like the Vengeful Punch in this deck because that could serve as an answer to Pikachu EX. Pikachu EX knocks you out. You put 4 damage counters on it, so then you can immediately return KO on that Pokemon. So a great tech into a Pokemon that's going to be very popular moving forward. And I'm a Dunsparce believer. I think this card's really good. Having a Shred Attack is nice. Having a another bulky Pokemon to serve the Palkia V-Star role is nice. Again, it ain't great. It's not a perfect answer, but
Mm.
as a splashable one of card in here, I think I think it's pretty good. And I got to commentate a couple of matches of this, and the deck ran very very smoothly. So
I know you're a believer of it. I think it's kind of shitty, to be honest. But I mean, I do like that the deck at least has an answer for basically everything, right? You can't get walled out by Melodic. You can't get walled out by Cornerstone. You can't get walled out by the Giraffe or Pikachu because you play the Vengeful Punch. So, yeah, I, it makes sense. I'll put it that way. But I just don't understand why you think like why people are putting Dunsparce and Goldango like you need more draw when you're playing Fez and Goldango already.
sometimes you do, man. Losing Gradient Greninja is very tough for this deck. You're not getting as you sometimes you need an explosive card draw. So and it's you can recycle itself. Again, it ain't perfect, but I'm into it. I'm a
Yeah.
believer.
I guess the only other deck we didn't mention, but like I don't think it's a complete surprise, would be the Raging Bolt deck. Some of our friends are playing it a very interesting way. I'm not going to have any leaks here, but uh, I feel like the deck going into Atlanta is going to be a lot more dynamic and low key surprising in that sense, where like how it finishes in results. It's really strong right now. Again, not being a I mean, pretty much you could tack everything into it with the walls except for the Giraffe, but you have
Yeah.
answers for that and answers for Pikachu. Like, kind of answers everything.
Yeah, I agree. I've been playing a little bit of this deck on the side myself. Again, it's the problem with Raging Bolt for that a lot of people feel that it has is that it's very linear still. Your single prize attackers are okay. You have a litany of ones you can choose from, whether it's the Koraidon, the Slitherwing. I'm seeing the baby Raging Bolt in a lot of these decks too, which is an interesting tech to kind of help you spread damage around to ping your opponent's board. I just think it's a solid, consistent deck. I think from everyone that I've talked to from our old head friends that have been playing for a lot longer than we have. When you're going into a new format where there isn't a whole lot to go off of, playing something that's consistent and you have a lot of agency in your games is very important. And I think you have a lot of agency with a deck like Raging Bolt, where you're a big attacker, you can knock things out, you have lines of play, more than I think people give it credit for. So I agree. I think that's a deck that's going to be played in big numbers, as it should be. But I think the last deck I'll mention that I think should be on a lot of people's lists is the various packages for our Caludon. That's been very popular, whether it's by itself, whether it's with the Hops Double to kind of give you a gust effect to gust around your opponent's smaller bench liability Pokemon. I like the Poison package a lot. I think that's probably my favorite way to play the deck, because the biggest problem with our Caludon is that it caps at 220. So you're only really, you have limit your pool of what you're able to actually knock out. But you play the Poison package, you're able to reach numbers, I think, like 290. You reach with Perilous Jungle plus poison damage plus the Binding Mochi. You have some good ways to enhance your math. I think that deck's going to be very popular too. Simple deck to play, easy to pick up.
What did you watch the Full Grip Games tournament over the weekend at all?
I did. I actually watched a lot of it.
First 3 rounds had 3 different Arcaludons. Archetypes, like the ones you just mentioned. So yeah, Arcaludon's interesting. It's just a big body, accelerating energy. It might be heavy played.
And I also think like something that goes underrated, and this is something that someone that one of our other friends has mentioned, is that playing something that's easy to pilot for 9 rounds at a regional, 8-9 rounds at a regional, is incredibly underrated. Like, Arcaludon is very good. It's got good matchup spread into the meta, and it doesn't take like every acid of your brain to play this deck efficiently. Like, you have some room for error. It's very easy to understand what your lines are. So I think people are going to lean towards that as like, okay, this deck is, this deck sets itself up. It's efficient. It's consistent. And then you have rooms to splash in these other techs, which would be the Poison package. You can play with the Hopzation, like we mentioned. The Double is really cool. So I think this deck should be something that a lot of people should practice towards. It's why I'm trying to get the pieces to build it. I think I just like metal. I think I'm a metal guy. I like metal.
You're a heavy metal head.
I actually don't like heavy metal in real life, which is funny. So you won't catch you won't catch me listening to Lithium in the radio. That's for sure.
Neither am I, buddy. Neither am I. All right. Let me ask you this one last question then. What do you believe is winning Atlanta Regionals?
God, it's so tough. I think it's hard to say, but it's hard to also ignore the safe answer, which is Terrabox. I think Terrabox will convert very well, but I think the winning deck, I think walls are going to be good, man. I think not enough. I think people are downplaying how good of a call that's going to be. I think walls might be pretty well positioned.
I'm going to disagree with the walls just because I think everybody is making sure that they don't lose to walls. I really think Guardy is going to do very well. I think Guardy is, if you look at the matchup spread, it's very favored. People say the deck doesn't function. It does. You just play better. I think Goldango is going to be really good too. I really see Goldango doing very, very well. If I had to pick, though, I think I'm going to go pick what I am leaning towards, and that's Gardevoir.
I want to believe in Goldango so bad, but the problem with Goldango is what I mentioned that other decks don't have, and that's you have agency in your losses. Like, sometimes with Goldango, you lose just because you don't get to set the game up. So I think if you can get past the hump of playing the game, the deck's very good. And how are you going to deal with Pikachu and Ogerpon? I think those Pokemon kind of completely derail your game plan. It's what makes Goldango it takes away what makes Goldengo a good Pokemon. It's got an awkward HP number, and it can one shot you. And both of those Pokemon kind of ignore that. So if they can figure out an answer to that, then I'll be very, I'll be looking forward to seeing what the people bring to the table, so I can copy it later.
Yeah, speaking of walls too, though, bro. You know what card I keep thinking about, and it's definitely bad, and I'm just like really curious to see if someone's gonna fit it because I feel like in this format it's not that bad. The Alakazam EX from
151.
Yeah.
The one that can attack from the bench.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that card's kind of sick, but it is such a meme.
I mean, there's no way that anybody's building that. But if you think about it, with like all the wall stuff that's out there right now, and like just pick your wall, put it up, and then attack with Alakazam.
Some sicko's gonna bring it, man. Like there's always that one person in regional that's just there to hang out. They're gonna bring just absolute filth, and I love those people. I love sitting at a table 1,000 and seeing something crazy.
There's nothing that can stop boss right now, right?
That can stop the effect of boss's orders?
Yeah.
No, because those Pokemon usually have those effects on themselves, like prevent. Like there's certain Pokemon that have the abilities that prevent the effects of supporter cards on them. They don't have actual cards that prevent that from happening, to my knowledge. So
yeah, because that's what I was just thinking about. Like if that was the case, that card eventually would be so broken. If you could ever just not boss.
Oh yeah, it'd be absolutely nuts. Yeah. So, but yeah, we'll talk more in depth about Atlanta in our next week's episode because it'll be the weekly. It'll be the week before. We'll see where our head's at. We'll see if George has changed his mind for the 1,000th time, and then we'll give a recap of our little festival this weekend. Maybe we'll break out a vlog this weekend. What do you think, Georgie? Think it'd be fun?
Vlogs are cool. Vlogs are tight. The homies love when we vlog too. They're fun.
Yeah, everybody really shows up for the vlog. So maybe we'll give a little behind the scenes on what our
as long as
what our process looks like. I'll do it. It's fine. Yeah. You're gonna be the passenger princess next weekend anyway. So this week. So
yeah, I deprived us of the London UIC vlog.
I think it's for the best. Yeah. I think it's fine. It's just gonna be you and Rob sitting in a Ted Lasso bar for 35 minutes.
That's basically it. Yeah.
The only other bit of news that I wanted to touch on is that we have been getting little tricklings of Team Rocket cards coming in throughout the week.
Yeah.
That wasn't really anything worth talking about. Oh, we'll say though, the art on the Team Rocket's Mareep might be some of my favorite artwork on a Pokemon TCG card of all time. It just looks so silly. I had a tweet go viral this weekend because of it. Kind of a big deal, but
the classic quote on a card trick, the infinite viral hack for Twitter.
Yeah. Works every time. The selling point of the card is the Ampharos, which I believe is almost a direct reprint of the Dark Ampharos from way back in the day. When you evolve it, you can put damage counters around or something on the board or something like that. I think that's what that ability does. It's interesting to say the least, but it's when your opponent evolves that down. Excuse me. But the art on the Mareep is just very cute, and it made for a very memeable picture. So I just find it funny that Team Rocket would come in possession of a Mareep. It's very scary stuff. So
just that
poor sheep committing crime, man.
Poor innocent sheep just being conquered by evil people in this world.
Crime sheep, bro. I'm into it.
What is the word that I'm looking for? It wasn't conquered. I just couldn't spit it out.
Corrupted?
Corrupted. Yeah. That's the one. That's the
Mareep saw its friend get arrested and turned to a life of vigilante crime or something.
Yeah, he stole a candy bar one time and just got a taste for it.
Oh God. I think the biggest piece of news that I saw from this past week, outside of the usual stuff, is that a new Pokemon TCG trademark came through this past week.
Yes, sir.
The Inferno X trademark came out. We usually find out about these around 6 to 9 months before a set comes out. So we'll probably not hear anything about this until the end of the year. This is probably like the, whatever the mega set we're going to get is going to be included with that. People are speculating that this could be where we get,
Wait,
mega.
why do you think that's the mega thing? Is it because the pictures show the 2 mega Pokemon that were released?
Not because of that, because we don't know about anything else coming out. Shut up. Do you want to do this? I'll go home right now.
Proceed.
Yeah, thank you. A lot of people are anticipating that this is where the mega set's going to be coming out, because we got these megas announced during Pokemon Day, and then we don't know anything else about where these cards are going to be in the pantheon of things, because we know about our May set, Destined Rivals, and then I'm assuming we're going to get a special set before Worlds, because we always do. And then where do we go from there? We usually get a set in October. That makes a lot of sense. So I'm anticipating this is maybe where that comes into play. So if all pans out, we'll probably get some more mega information later this summer, I'd imagine, at Worlds. So Mega Charizard X, another Charizard card for George to attach his wagon to.
Yeah, definitely gonna play it. But let me ask you, what mega are you looking forward to?
Oof, I'm thinking of the really popular ones, because like all my favorite mega Pokemon are like the squirrely weird Pokemon. Like I think Mega Glalie is like unironically funny. I like Mega Sceptile. Sceptile's one of my favorite Pokemon. That'd be a cool one. But like now that we know what my entire view of like what these Pokemon are going to look like completely changes now that we like A, know what the megas look like now, and B, what Team Rocket's Mewtwo is kind of setting as a precedent. Like it's a 280 HP basic Pokemon. So I'm imagining like something like Mega Absol. Like if Absol is a fan favorite Pokemon, that card I imagine is going to be pretty popular for collecting purposes, and hopefully to make a good card out of it too, because that'd be pretty sick. But like, are we gonna see an era of like 280 to 260 HP like basic 3 prize Pokemon? Like, are we just going straight back to the tag teams again, which is gonna be kind of nuts? So I'm excited for that. I am excited to see what like the basic Mega Pokemon are gonna look like Mega Sableye or like Mega Absol in particular. So any ones that that catch your interest that you're looking forward to maybe seeing later this summer?
I'm hoping that they print a cool Dragonair card that has a good like ability, so that the Mega Dragonite deck would be really good. Because I think Mega Dragonite's going to be a really popular mega.
The unconfirmed Mega Dragonite. We're just gonna go out on a limb and say that we do not know for a fact if that's actually coming out or
I
not.
thought we knew for a fact. I thought it was released.
There's been some leaks that have come out. I don't necessarily know how true or not true those are.
Well, they better not get my hopes up now.
you just you just fell for the long con bait. Oh, that's so funny.
No.
What if we get a Dragonair with refinement? That'd be kind of cool, right?
All I know is Dragonair with refinement and Dragonite that attacks the bench and swings hard and moves damage counters, and
we're due for another good Dragonite Pokemon.
Just give me like a card that has a broken ability and can attach the bench and hit hard, that has a lot of HP, and I'm in. I am so in. What was I going to say to you though? The problem with all these cards are, even if you think about Garchomp that's coming out in the next set, Cynthia's Garchomp, it effectively has 400 HP. So like HP is just going to be out of control. Like post this, whenever they rotate again, we're going to be playing that might be it for me. I don't know if I can see the day of 500 HP Pokemon.
I mean, I think we're getting closer to that. It's weird, man. Like, you thought that like the power ceiling was like getting to a weird place from like Pikachu is doing 300 damage, and that's like still not enough to knock out certain things. But like now you see what we have coming down the pipeline. The game is just in a weird place. We'll see where the power.
The disappointing thing is they had every opportunity with this newest set to like not let it happen, and they did it anyway.
Yeah, it's I couldn't tell you. So it's unfortunate to say the least. But that being said, I think Garchomp's cool. So that'll be a fun. I actually don't know. A lot of those cards are like underperforming in Japan right now, like the Ethan stuff, the Cynthia stuff. I think I don't know. It's just because maybe they aren't just. It's not as popular in Japan. I know like City League metas, you always kind of take with a grain of salt, but I don't know, I think on paper these cards are really good. So I'm curious as to why they aren't performing as strongly.
Leave it to North America to figure it out. That's what I always say.
I'll figure it out.
You'll
So don't worry,
I'll
I'll figure this one out.
Yeah, just figure it out. Just do me a favor.
Yeah. So we'll probably get more about whatever these are as we get further into the summer. So I'm assuming we'll get the Inferno stuff probably on October for one of our last Scarlet and Violet sets, which is weird to say out loud. You know, the fact that we're nearing like the twilight of the come this time next year, like Gardevoir is going to be gone. Baridon's going to be gone. It's going to be weird, man. Like, how much more time we got left, George?
I don't know, man. 35. I'm thinking about it.
I'll stop when you stop. How about that?
HP just keeps going up. I'm not built for this, man.
Rent's not going down.
Rent's not going down. I'm going to have to buy a house soon. I don't know.
Rough time. I'll stop when you stop. How about that?
Sure. I don't even believe you. I don't believe you, but sure.
I've always, my competitive mindset has always been when my friends stop going to things, that's when I'll stop. So I always have an opportunity.
I always envisioned myself always playing and but like not being like super like into the meta and be like, oh, new cards come out, like have enough money just to build one deck and just play that one deck and then like modify it. Kind of what I do with Charizard anyway. Basically the same thing I do now, but not go to like so many regionals, just play locally, have like local tournaments and stuff, I also think we're going to be playing like the old format. You know what I mean? Like the format that we've been playing like for like the last like 3 years, we're going to like, I bet you like we build like Sun and Moon, like one of these days, like move forward when it just starts to get really out of control. And you'd be like, I remember when ADP was broken, play that format, play Mew like I feel like the VMAX format we would really get into again. Because that was a fun format.
I would love to go back and like play some of those old formats. I am very, again, I think I'm in the same boat. I think I'm always just going to keep playing this game, and then we'll cross that bridge.
Yeah, competitively though, that's a different story.
Yeah, well, let me win a regional first. Let me win a cup first. We'll start small.
Gotta win a cup. Jesus Christ.
Do you want to get into this week's Squawkersies?
Yeah, let's do it, man. I'm ready. Yeah, let's do
it. All right, so we had some technical difficulties trying to get this one off the ground. I came up with the idea of like April Fool's jokes because it's April Fool's Day. George came up with the idea of doing viral videos. So, something funny related. We already did comedy movies, I think. So, we're kind of scratching the bottom of the well here for ideas. George, what direction would you like to take this in? The first live audible Squawkers we use.
Yeah, so I don't know how, like, I was thinking about like sharing screen. Is that like crazy?
You can share your screen with me. I'll peep.
So will it play the audio though?
I don't know if it'll play the audio. We could try. Oh my god, your suggested is just gonna be. It looks gonna look so funny.
It's not that crazy. My suggested. Well, we have Barstool Pizza Reviews. We got Zool GG, Shuffle Squad, Phoenix Resell, Pokemon Deep Pocket Monsters. I don't really know why this is here. This is interesting.
An 11-year-old YouTube video that you haven't watched in like 5 years.
That one's like the outlier there. It's a little bizarre, but everything else is pretty on par here, I think. That's not my stuff. That's just top news. Tiny Desk. I love Tiny Desk. But
do you have a favorite Tiny Desk concert?
I really like the teenage what's the name of the band? Not Weezer.
The band that sings Teenage Dirtbag?
Teenage Dirtbag, yeah.
Wheatus.
Yeah. That one I didn't know that guy does the voice. That Tiny Desk, that like really surprised me. But one of my favorite YouTube videos all the time. I don't know if you know this one, but this guy. Whoa. But anyway. But the unforgivable guy. He's Squawking her season unforgivable. Whoops. I don't remember what he says, but yeah, whatever.
I haven't seen this video in years, so I'll squawk it. It's funny. Yeah, so in case we haven't gotten there yet, our favorite, we're squawking season's viral videos this week that we find funny. So
yeah, don't let me screen share again, all right?
No, that was funny. Well, I'll just find. We'll just leave links in the description below of what we want to.
Well, you know what though? When we were listening to it, I don't know if they could hear it or not.
Maybe they can. I don't know. Well, yeah. I'll find back in post.
TBD. All right. What about you? You go.
All right. Offering a submission for viral videos, like videos that I. Also, before I forget, fresh in my mind, one of my favorite tiny desks is the Sabrina Carpenter tiny desk. I find that she's great. I'm a big Sabrina Carpenter enjoyer.
Yeah.
Dua Lipa had a good one recently.
All the girly pops. I'm a big girly pop guy. Did you know that?
Big girly pop guys. Now I know that about you. I also did Justin Timberlake.
I didn't know that about me though.
And now look at you. You know all the words to these songs. George knew the entire song. George knew the entirety of training season during when we were testing yesterday. He was word for word. He just knew it.
It's a great song.
It is a great song. Also, the Justin Timberlake Tiny Desk is really good. Highly recommend you guys check that out if you haven't.
Tyler Creator one's also very good.
Ooh, yeah. Like that guy a lot. All right, here we go. One of my favorites of all time. We're going to squawk or seize my new haircut.
My new haircut. I think I know what this one is, but let me just double check it.
God, still, this video has left this video's done irreparable damage to my brain. It is incredibly funny.
Which one is it? Is it the one with the vodka soda Jaeger bomb?
Yeah, the Jaeger, Jaeger bombs.
Vodka soda, Jaeger bomb.
Not now, Chief. I'm in the fucking zone.
Yeah, I'm squawking it. I quote that one way too much. Much. Vodka soda, Jaeger bomb.
Go back and look at some of these videos. You're just like, they're so old too. Like, oh my gosh.
Hey. I forgot that it's that song too. What about? I know this is one that we talk about frequently, and it cracks me up every single time. But banana bread, hell yeah, at work, dude.
Fucking banana. I'm squawking that one. That one is like, I like forget the context of how this video like actually starts. But it's so fucking funny.
He's like, my mom told me that like the little things in life, like you shouldn't sweat or something. He's like, but you should really appreciate like the good things. And the other day at work, there was banana bread, and I was like, hell yeah. And then he goes into like everything he hates, like, hell no, but banana bread, dude,
at work,
dude.
Yeah, I'm squawking it.
Yeah,
I love that video. It's
fantastic.
So funny.
Fantastic.
I also love banana bread.
I hate banana bread. I hate bananas. They're disgusting.
Really?
Yeah, they're disgusting. They smell like shit, and they're disgusting. And they mush in people's hands, and babies get them all over the place. They're fucking atrocious. but banana bread video, fantastic.
All right, counter argument. My mom makes really good banana bread. Will you try it?
No, because I hate bananas. Okay. I just told you.
All right, cool. Moving on.
Your mom's probably a very lovely baby. A very lovely baby. Very lovely woman. She's my baby. No, I'm just kidding. Take that back. But I will not try your mom's banana bread. I'm seizing your mom's banana bread. Squawking the banana bread at work video.
I'll squawk my mom's banana bread. That shit hits so good.
Hell yeah. All
right, this is tough. I got to think of. It's been so long since I thought of these videos. This one's a classic. How about Squawker sees the Numa guy? Remember that guy?
You don't know this about me. This is story time with George Fabre right now. But when I was in high school, this song came out. The fresh star numa numa ye numa numa ye. So like the big fat guy does it, right?
Yes.
So I came up with like a dance. It was like the dirty dance, like with that. Like I did like one of these kind of things. If you're watching, and we had a contest my senior year. I went to Clifton High School, so the contest was called Mr. CHS, which I placed third, bronze, not bad. But my talent for that was I got up on stage and danced to the Numa Numa song. So for those reasons, I will squawk the Numa Numa guy. Absolutely. Actually, I was very obsessed with that song. Like I know the words, but I don't know what they say. But then I listened to the English version. I know that too. It's like, when you leave, my colors fade to gray. Numa Numa ye. Numa 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 ye. And then it says something. I'll paint them every day. Yeah. So
Wow.
I think he's trying to say that she brightens up his day. I think that's what they're trying to say there. Yeah, it's a good message. Who knew that? Numa Ye was all about that, But now we know.
The guy that made that song recently popped up as like a judge on a foreign season of The Voice, which I found very funny.
Yeah.
So I got so much context about you that I did not know. That was very interesting.
Yeah.
I didn't know you had that dog in you.
Yeah, I'm a weird guy. But anyway, so I don't think we're seizing any of these. So
I don't know if we are.
Yeah, I'm gonna hit you with a real curveball here that you like. If you do squawk, you're a real piece of shit. 2 girls, 1 cup.
No, get it out of here. Stop. Just please don't. Oh my god. That is, I
couldn't let it be a squawk fest.
You're right. You had to give me a grenade. That video, that's man. I can't say enough bad things about that video.
Where were you the first time that you watched it?
I was on my family computer in the 7th grade. I probably got a virus on the computer.
Oh God, it's everywhere. It's like the what's the dumb? It's like Dumb and Dumberer. It's like the sequel when he's like, "There's shit on the wall. There's shit everywhere."
It reminds me of an old like Jackass sketch where like someone goes in a porta potty and they attach the porta potty to like one of those giant slingshots.
Oh God, disgusting.
Yeah, it's disgusting. It's gross. Yeah, no, I'm stealing it.
And it starts off, you're like, oh yeah, this is a cool video, and then boom, in your face. Yeah, disgusting.
That's exactly what was going through my mind as a 7th grader. This is a cool video, and we'll leave it at that. Good night, everybody. All right, this one's a bit of a nerdier cut. I'm not sure if this is going to be your cup of tea or not because you're. I'm gonna submit the Ultimate Showdown as a to the table here to be squawked or seized.
The Ultimate Showdown.
It is a video that appeared on Newgrounds.com, which is where I spent a lot of my time as a teenager.
I am familiar with Newgrounds. I have never seen this.
Yeah, the Ultimate Showdown is like an old video of just the fictional fight of just all these like pop culture characters fighting each other, Gandalf the Grey and Gandalf the White. And
is Reptar fighting? Shaq?
Godzilla's in there, Shaq's in there, he does Shaq
Godzilla. I thought it was Reptar from Rugrats.
You're close.
Looks more like Reptar than Godzilla.
Yeah, Aaron Carter's in there. It gets weird. It was a very prominent point of my like early adolescence on the internet. So
this is got to be my C's if I'm going to seize anything. This is you missed me with that one, guy. I wouldn't. This is a long 3 minutes too. It feels like
it is a lot. Yeah, it's very long.
Yeah, I'm sure it's great for if you're into that. I'm gonna seize it though. I'm gonna seize it. Sorry, not to hurt your feelings, but it's not for me.
Yeah, you hurt my feelings when you said you wouldn't eat my mom's banana bread, but it's fine.
Yeah. Well.
Anyway, all right. So I think
one more for the road.
Yeah, go for it. Last one.
Because it's been so on my mind. If I did this without it, but calc is short for calculator.
This video is great. It's it's so funny. The context on this video is so funny.
Because you're using a calc, bruh. Major gamer bruh moment, bruh.
Calc is short for calculator, by the way. So
yeah, just using slang.
Yeah, it's like these two kids playing Fortnite or something, where like they I forget what they were doing, but like this kid does like a damage calculation like really quick, and these kids just have the nerdiest conversation of all time.
Yeah, he's like, what's 20 times 5,000? He's like 100,000. He's like, yeah, you're using a calc, bro. Yeah, you're using a calc. Calc is short for calculator. Chat for everybody that just joined stream. We're just using slang. Yeah, great stuff.
It's so funny, great stuff.
Viral videos.
I'll squawk it.
The one that I honorable mention that I wanted to bring up, but you brought up the vodka soda one, the new haircut, because it's in this similar vein. It might even be the same person, but drinking out of cups.
Oh yeah,
Mr. Walk Down Me on the Walkway.
I was gonna suggest the oh my god. I guess I didn't know if these ones counted either as my honorable mention. It's like, have you ever seen like the what you say like sketch from Saturday Night Live with the Lonely Island?
But that's not like a viral video because that's like TV.
But it went viral, so it's like that's where I figured it wouldn't count. So
yeah, but I'm talking about like I think your discretion there was correct because I was more so thinking obviously like we went off there like internet sensation viral videos. Yeah. So yeah, because like SNL and stuff like that, like sure they go viral, but like that's TV. That's not internet.
Like Couple of Beers. That was a great one recently. You seen that one?
What's that?
It was when Shane Gillis hosted a couple of weeks ago, and he's doing
on SNL you're talking about.
Couple of Beers.
Yeah.
The doctor said try a couple of beers.
You said something else too, right? Yeah. I try a couple. I actually am prescribed to a couple beers.
That's true. Your doctor is infinite refills.
Beer's awesome.
Yeah, I love beer. How good is beer? You want to have a beer this Friday?
I have a beer right now. Never met a beer I didn't like.
That's all we got for this week.
I did have one beer I did not like. It's called a Rauch beer. It's a German style stout that is very, very smoky. It tastes like you're just drinking, like if you had like a bunch of cigarettes and water, and then you forgot all the cigarettes and just drank the water. That's what it would taste like.
I hate that.
But that's all we have for this week. Am I gonna lead us out? No, I don't know how to do it. You do it.
Yeah, that's gonna be all we got for this week, folks. Again, kind of a weird week. You know, we're fresh off of a regional. You know, new sets coming out. Not a whole lot of news happening, but we made it work. We somehow always get over an hour somehow. So proud of us.
Yeah. Well, we figure out how to talk some shit, right?
All right, George. Let the people know where they can find you.
On the platform X. Pony Bottle Champ, PNYBTL Champ, with the @ sign in front of there. Been perusing a lot lately with Atlanta coming out. I will probably be loading up a deck list or two to get some thoughts and reactions. So check that out. How about you, Kyle?
You guys can check me out at Koopa NJ across platforms. I am on the internet all over the place. I will also be, helping the people partake in Atlanta stuff, and maybe we'll do a little behind the scenes video of our little testing thing this weekend. I think that'd be fun for the people on the YouTube channel. So
yeah, why not?
Why not? Content. It's content season. We got to start getting out in the streets and doing some stuff. So
let's do it.
Let's go ahead and do that. Follow us on Squawkcast. Check us out on YouTube and Spotify. Like and comment, subscribe. We're getting some decent traction on the YouTube channel, so make sure to. We're trying to get to 100 subscribers by the end of the year, folks. So we're thinking we're in like I think we're like 54 right now, I think. So share, tell your friends, tell your parents' friends. We appreciate all the support we can get. And that's going to be it for this week. And until next time, stay squawking. We'll see you next week, guys.
1